is Rip the Fence.
And now Chase Stockon throws the slider on Garrett Aiken as Chase Stockon looks for his first career Indiana Sprint Week Championship.
Which landslide version is better?
I would say neither.
What?
Neither one's good.
Good answer. This is a debate.
Whatever.
Tyler has been trying to convince me for 2 years that
It's not even a debate. The quality of the song.
that the Dixie Chicks are better than Fleetwood Mac, and I refuse to believe it.
Yeah, I don't know. That's a tough one. I don't know. I don't really care for either one, but I don't know. Dixie Chicks is pretty good.
And the title goes to the 5S of Chase Stockon.
This is Rip the Fence.
Call me Big Daddy.
Presented by O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Yeah, you damn right I got time out there.
Also brought to you by Hercules Tires.
Welcome to episode 103 of Rip Apart. We have a guest co-host in today, and you also see Dillon Welch live from the Shag Pad in Pennsylvania at his California King on Skype. What's up, D. Welch? What's up, Crispy? Chris Wilner's in the house. What's up?
Dude, you're making a lifelong kid's dream right here. I got the Rip the Fence shirt on. I'm sitting in D. Welch's seat. Couldn't be a happier camper
That's
right
a
now.
baby small, right?
This is a baby
Shirt?
small. The youth,
not that
youth
cool.
large.
Youth large. What'd you say, Dylan?
I said it's not that cool, Chris.
Hey.
Wow. Well, I gave Dylan 2 of them, and he's lost both of them. So there is that.
Jeez.
Oh my goodness.
Off to a great start.
Big week for non-wing sprint car racing as Indiana Sprint Week took off in full storm, but it's an even bigger week in Pennsylvania because the 81 Special will rip again. Are you ready?
Do I look really blown out to you guys? I look like,
Looks like you need some
like I've
sun,
got a-
bud.
looks like I've got a spotlight on my face.
I think
Do I
so.
need to turn this light off? Is
Put
that
him on the
better?
full screen. Oh,
Now
that
you're
actually
blue.
helped. Well, it.
I
don't
think
know.
it's the light in the studio. It's all right. We're all right.
If you're watching the video of our podcast, you can see that Dillon Welch is right here. He's actually here, so not wearing a mask though, but
I'm like a holographic Tupac in studio. Here.
a holographic Tupac. Are you ready to race or what?
Yeah, finally. After it rained all day yesterday, so bummed we couldn't go run Grandview, but it's a beautiful day today. So hopefully every other place didn't take too much water, and we can run the whole rest of the week.
Kutztown tonight. So this obviously is being recorded on what day is it? Wednesday? Yeah. August 5th.
Action track.
We're in August already. Holy shit. It's
Mhm.
been a quick time. The action track at Kutztown. Yeah, what Zeb Wise won there. Was it last year? Beat Larson? That was a
Yeah,
good race.
last
Oh,
Sure.
yeah. Larson, slid him off a 4, and they about touched. That was a great race.
That's a good place to go. So we'll see what happens. But how many races do you have the remainder of the year, the week, and you're not going to Road America, are you?
No, we run Wednesday. We're supposed to run Wednesday through Saturday, and then I'll drive home Saturday night. So the
So you're not
Silver Crown
working this
cars
weekend.
run. No, Silver Crown cars run at Sealands Grove Sunday, but midgets just run Wednesday through Saturday.
You're not going to stay for the Silver Crown.
No, I would have liked to, but it's another night of hotels that I don't really need. So
That is true. Well, we had some big news. We'll get to Indiana Sprint Week in a second, but the Indy 500 will not have fans. You guys okay with that? I mean, you don't really have a decision in it, but
I mean, it's just what you got to do.
Yeah, it's the decision you have to make. You're never going to make everybody happy in this situation, but they did what they had to do, and I think you kind of heard it from the drivers that it's a disappointment, but you got to think of the big picture here, and if we're going to have racing as we know it in the future, we've got to kind of protect our own now. So,
do you think that this pandemic has helped racing a little bit? Dirt track racing specifically, I would say.
I don't know.
I mean, you
don't
got to
know.
think that views are up, at least
Well, I mean,
on
from a
the
streaming-
pay-per-view and subscription platforms.
Yeah, I mean, from a streaming perspective, maybe, but I don't know. I think the dirt racing deal is different because it seems like it's been a little more lax, because you don't have the eyes necessarily on it that you would if it was on national television or whatever else. So you can go to these tracks and unless the state is mandating you wear a mask, a lot of times you don't have to wear a mask. So I like that part of it, obviously.
Yeah, I think that eyeballs on the sport in general are way up, and I think they were before the pandemic anyways. I just think that it's been a perfect storm because there's been no other sports.
Yeah.
Like, this is an entertainment business. We obviously know that. And right now, what else do you have to watch besides reruns of Jeopardy? Like, I mean, if you're a racing fan, it's a good time to be a racing fan because you get, we're getting 5 NASCAR races this week?
Yeah.
Flow Racing has been streaming 30 races a week. Like,
that's
not necessarily, they're not all sprint car races, so I don't watch all of them, but.
Well, and then you even go back to like what iRacing kind of did too. That kind of launched everything because we're running World of Outlaws at on iRacing, and I think everybody's just like, holy cow, this is incredible, and it kind of leads people into the dirt track stuff, and then it leads people into more. So I think it was like a snowball effect. So.
But what's funny is, and I know it's cost, but what's funny is they'll stream a virtual sprint car race, but they won't go cover a sprint car race.
Yeah, I don't understand that.
It's got to be money, right? It's got to be the expense of going there and setting up cameras and getting announcers and blah, 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 whereas you could just have Jeff Gordon and Mike Joy keep working for free and stream it. Well, I guess it wasn't free because they had to
that's
do
what
races
it is.
anyways. But
the production cost is so high. People, ask why, bowling and like cornhole and all this other stuff can get on TV. It's because it, takes nothing to produce. Whereas putting live racing on TV, takes a lot of work. So.
But back to the Indy 500, I think it was definitely the right decision to go with no fans. And it was to Dillon's point when we announced the Knoxville Raceway deal that there have been people who have been to this race for 80 years in a row. You can't tell them they can't go, and then their neighbor who's been to 75 gets to go. Like, it's you can't really limit the fans of the Indy 500. Now everyone missed an Indy 500, and we can all, celebrate and, celebrate by ourselves. But I'm sure we'll be drinking a lot.
So what do you
during
say
that
to the
race.
fans that are like, well, now that we can't have fans, let's just not have the race? I don't think you can do that.
No.
Not with the Indy 500.
Well, they did it with Knoxville. That's
Well,
why I
it's
felt a
like
little bit weird. That's why I felt a little weird about the Knoxville Nationals, because how can you just say we don't have a Knoxville champion that year, but at the same time, we're getting ready to have the big, a big number coming up, a milestone race for them, and I don't know. I guess we'll just say I skipped it.
Hannah and I were talking about this last night. It's like, think about if some guy wins the Indy 500 this year that's never won it before, and he gets out of the car and there's no fans. Like, there's no, it's just him and his team, basically. Like, think about how, like, it's still the Indy 500, but think about how weird that is. And think about, like, even qualifying, how exciting qualifying is because of the fans and how into it they get. And now there's going to be no fans. Like, it's going to be weird. But I don't know that I don't know canceling the race is the right decision, but it is going to be very, very strange. And you almost, in a weird way, feel sorry for the guy that wins it this year because, especially if it's his first, he may not have another one, and not having a chance to celebrate it with fans and that experience, I think will be tough.
Are they not allowing fans in for any of the practice and qualifying now as well?
Nothing.
The week before?
No, nothing.
0 fans. And what? So Indiana Sprint Week has been limited fans. What has it been? 50% capacity or something?
That's
50.
what they've said.
Let's put it in quotation marks.
Looks like a lot of fans to me, but
Yeah.
they haven't had any spikes that we know of yet. So it's one of those things where you hoping everyone stayed socially distanced and wore masks and everything went well. It went well for Chase Stockon. We can get right into our O'Reilly Auto Parts Hat Shakes of the Week presented by O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Time now for the Hat Shake of the Week. Send in your hat shakes to @RipTheFence and use hashtag #HatShake.
O'Reilly Auto Parts Hat Shakes of the Week presented by O'Reilly Auto Parts. Think O'Reilly Auto Parts for all of your car care needs. We're close, convenient, and known for our guaranteed everyday low prices and excellent customer service from professional parts people you can trust. Stop by your local O'Reilly Auto Parts today. O'Reilly Auto Parts, better prices every day. We talked about Logan Seavey's victory, Dwelch on episode 102. That happened the night before we recorded. It was at Gas City. CJ Leary, the next 2 nights, certainly getting some hat shake territory. Family-owned Leary Construction Special went back-to-back at both Kokomo and Lawrenceburg. Dwelch, I think that's where our pool sheet went a bit south. because we had Tyler Courtney spinning out leading with 3 laps to go at Kokomo. And then Grant was absolutely ripping at the Berg, and something broke in the right rear. The entire wheel came off, and he charged back through, but probably was a podium contender. Do you feel that way? I mean, I finished 173rd with the Rip the Fart pool sheet, and you climbed the charts there back to 112. You managed a good run there, 436 points at Hobstadt, a good Hobstadt week. But yeah, do you think that's where it went south?
Well, I don't know about your pool, but for mine, like always, you have guys that decide halfway through the week, oh, we're just not going to run the rest of the week.
Yeah, who
like
was
Team
that?
Ez,
Oh, Coons.
Like Team Ez.
Yeah.
Team Ez, well, and Coons, like I picked Jerry, I think, at Terre Haute. And then, just decided after the first weekend that he was not going to run anymore. So, and then I had Team Ez like 3 more nights, and he didn't run the whole second half. So, that's just how it goes sometimes. But I was thankful for my Hobstadt picks that I was at one point 220th out of 225th. And somehow was able to charge back into the top half. So that was
Charles.
That was a B&W Automart hard
charger
performance. Yeah.
That's a Baloo does because he can't qualify. So then they went to Terre Haute the next night, and that was an interesting race. Justin Grant won. We could just put it that way. So after he charged back towards the front at Lawrenceburg after losing a right rear, then wins Terre Haute with a bit of controversy. Chase Stockon led most of the race, and then on a final restart got moved by Grant. I went back and watched the replay before we started recording the show. When I saw it live, I thought it looked clean. When I saw it after, it didn't look clean.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
he drove him down the front stretch on the hammer on his ass. I mean, Chase missed the mark off 4, and Grant was there, but it looked clean live. So, I mean, it was a racing deal to me.
Chase gave him a chance to get there because he missed the bottom a little bit in 3 and 4. So Justin definitely got into him and pushed him, which, is neither here nor there, whatever opinion you want to have on that. But then Chase missed the bottom again in 1 and 2. And that's why.
He missed the bottom
because he was getting thrown in there.
Well, I know that, but I mean, Grant was off of him before he got into the corner.
Barely before the corner, yeah.
He probably just had so much more speed.
Yeah.
But the point is, he missed it in 4, coming to the white too.
Yeah.
And that's why Justin got to him.
Yeah. Well, he big time missed the bottom in 1 and 2, and that's because his right rear, his rear wheels were off the ground going into the corner. But Grant, and to his credit, admitted he did it.
Yeah.
In victory lane.
Those interviews were really good. I mean, that was some raw, but I mean, they were truthful, Yeah.
Well, and if you're in Grant's position, and he said it, and he had a good quote, something about how I put food on the table to win races, and it pays a lot more to win than finish second. And I'm okay with that. I've talked about it on this podcast before. I mean, you have to deal with the consequences, but if you're going to move someone, make it as clean as possible. He didn't wreck Chase.
Yeah, it's better he did that than he drove down in there and sent him out of the park.
How would you feel, D. Welch, if you're running second? A car in front of you can beat. You can beat him. I mean, Chase and Grant were pretty even. Chase was probably the best car throughout the race, but any given lap, Grant can be just as good as Chase at Terre Haute. But if you're running second, your first USAC win on the line, are you doing the same thing?
Well, I don't know. I mean, I think that was a unique situation because you have such a long straightaway to even get up on somebody like that. But I mean, Justin's right. I mean, winning pays a lot more than running second, especially in USAC. So if it's your livelihood and you've got a shot, and you feel comfortable enough with your ability and the guy that you're going to do that to, that you're not going to, completely wipe both of you out, then, if that's what you got to do, I guess. I mean, it's probably something I wouldn't do just because I don't have the experience to do something like that, and make it work probably as well as he did. So, but I would rather him do that than have driven down in there and, fed him a wheel and turned him over or something. You know what I mean?
Agree.
But then this all could have been avoided if you don't throw that last caution, which that's the other controversy.
Yeah, and Chase was pissed. I actually think that Chase is more pissed about the caution than he was about getting moved by Grant, because Chase knew that you have 3 restarts at the end of the race. You might mess up one of them.
Right.
And he, Grant got a big run off it too, and was there, going through 3 and 4, and it just was circumstance. But yeah, And in his post-race victory lane interview at Hobstadt after he, of course, wins the Indiana Sprint Week, he's like, they tried to take it from us, but they couldn't because, the caution.
Yeah.
Now, Spridge got on Twitter and was kind of tweeting about how, he laid it out, like what he was thinking during the caution and the call. And I think he even owned up saying one of them was a mistake, but you should probably go back. I think we retweeted it on our Twitter account. You can see what the USAC race director, Kirk Spridgen, said about the call.
Which it's really cool he did that and being open.
He does it all the time.
Transparent. Yeah, well, not a lot of race directors around the country do that.
Not any of them.
Yeah.
I don't even know if anybody knows. Who's the race director for the Outlaws? I guess Eric Walls is the All-Stars one.
Mike Hess.
Mike Hess.
Yeah.
I've never seen him tweet about it. But that's one cool thing that USAC does. So Chase is pissed. He, lost at Terre Haute. It rains out. Mother Nature sucks. And we lose Bloomington. And we lose Lincoln Park Speedway, which was probably going to be a good race. Both of them probably were going to be good races. But we lost them. And then Hobstadt. We made a rebound in the pool sheet with Kyle Cummins. Obviously, a lot going to Hobstadt. They got going on there. And Stockon had a good run, man. Ripping from 7th to 3rd to win the Indiana Sprint Week title. Something went wrong with Grant's car. I don't know. He's not, the outstanding at Hobstadt. It's probably not a place you want to go to. It's not a place you want to go to win a championship for, a Sprint Week championship for him just because Chase lives a stone's throw away. But Stockon's always been good there, but Grant finished 13th, I think, which hurt him. So the final standing, Stockon edged Grant by 22 points. Wyndham was 3rd. Kyle Cummins, a good week, finished 4th. CJ Leary won twice. He was 5th. 6th, Brady Bacon. CV Cottle, Carson Short, and Robert Ballou, your top 10. So that was Indiana Sprint Week standings. Dwelch, are you ready to let the chariot rip here?
Yeah, we're ready. We're excited. Chad ran really well at Kutztown last year, so we should be good tonight.
Who's your hat shake before we get out of here?
Garrett Aiken, not a question.
He was ripping at Hobstadt, wasn't he?
Yeah, he I guess has been running MSCS there a little more, but is by no means a full-time racer. So to get in there and mix it up with those guys, he was up to 2nd at one point. So it was a good run for him.
It was.
He saved my pool too because he was like a Group 7 pick and ran 4th. So
can your pool be saved though? You don't get any money for 112.
No, I know, but he at least saved me some embarrassment of finishing 200th or whatever I was going to finish.
Yeah, like where I finished 173rd. Not good. All right, D. Welch, thanks for coming on the show.
Thanks, bud. Good luck tonight.
Yeah, thanks for having me on
the
my
rest
own
of the week.
shows again.
You have to win the
Fun.
title. The last guy who sat in there part-time won the Sprint, Midget Week title in Indiana. Why don't you take the Pennsylvania one for us?
That'd be nice. That's the goal.
All right, get back to it. Dillon Welch, everyone, on the hotline here on Rip the Fence, and that's where we started. Crispy, what do you think?
Yeah. No, I'm pretty good. I'm really excited for Eastern Midget Week. I really am. It's one of my favorite events throughout the whole year. I think the racing there is incredible. And the fact that, look at D. Welch and what he's been able to do the last couple years. I think he's got a really good shot to pick up his first win this week. So I think we're really excited. We're Team Rip the Fence, got the shirt on. We're ready to rock and roll.
He hasn't won since the last time he got in a car crash on the way back from
Plymouth.
What was that midget race?
It was a regional midget race. No, it was regional. He was running for Bob East at the time.
Oh, it was a regional midget race that he won.
Yeah.
And he told that story a couple episodes ago, but scared to win. But he's getting there.
Oh, yeah. He'll be all right. I think I'm his lucky charm, keeping his seat warm here. He'll go get the job done.
Yeah, he will. All right, we'll be back with Chase Stockon, the Indiana Sprint Week champion, next. This is episode 103 of Rip the Fence.
Sir, are you aware you were going 40 miles an hour? This is a residential area.
Sure, but I'm on my lawnmower? Wait, am I getting a ticket?
No, I've just never seen anyone top 9 miles an hour on one of those bad boys. And mow their entire lawn in 30 seconds? What got into you?
Well, it did fuel up at Sunoco this morning.
At Sunoco, we know how to fuel peak performance. We've been doing it for American racing for over 50 years. Fuel your best.
Citywide to countryside. Whatever you drive, wherever you go, Hercules Tires has the value, selection, and industry-leading warranty to get you there, no matter where the road takes you. Go to HerculesTire.com. There you can find the nearest authorized Hercules retail location to you. Plus, you can use the Tire Tracker to find out which Hercules tire fits your vehicle the best. That's HerculesTire.com. Hercules Tires. Ride on our strength.
Thanks to PristineAuction.com for coming on board this season. RIP, free $10. You can purchase, Christopher Bell, Kyle Larson, Dillon Welch's stuff is yet to be on PristineAuction.com, but hopefully soon we'll get some signed stuff to put on the website for you.
Yeah, I need to get some more merchandise.
Maybe we can get some Hat Shake shirts and give them to Jared over there at PristineAuction.com. We can sign them.
That'd be good.
Give them to him.
Yeah, that'd be good.
And see if we can make some money off it. Did I say that? PristineAuction.com. $10. Free. RIP. Use the promo code. Thank you so much for coming on board this year. Welcome back to episode 103, 3 for Dale of Rip the Fence. Chris Wilner, Tyler Burnett, we're here now with the champ. We can call him the champ, the Indiana Sprint Week champion. He is sitting on his rocker that he has stolen from everyone this week. Chase Stockon, what's up, man? How are you?
Oh, doing pretty good. How about you guys?
Not as good as you.
I was going to say, flexing him with that rocking chair. I love it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's John Young's custom builds them from scratch, and, this thing's pretty damn comfortable. So, I've been sitting in it every chance I get.
One of the coolest trophies in all of racing, in my opinion. In fact, I just saw a picture that I took from when Brian Clausen won Sprint Week. It's sitting in his rocker. It's what? So every single Sprint Week now, Chase, so far they've made this rocker?
Yeah, I think this is the 34th one. That's how I kind of joked around with John before whenever he had chair 32. I really wanted to win that one. He was close, but I told him 34 will do.
Yeah,
so where does it go in your house? Because it's obviously too big to put, in a trophy case. So what room of the house did you designate as your rocker chair?
Well, it's in the living room for now, so I think it'll probably stay there and for quite a while. Probably until I'm 80 years old, I'll still be sitting in it. So, but no, actually, we have an appearance tomorrow with Hudson Inc. It's John Deere Day, so I'll probably be sitting in it down there a little bit.
So that's your sponsor that's on your car, and it's a very cool paint scheme. I'm sure you designed it, correct?
No, actually, I didn't. All the credit goes to KBC Graphics in Sumner, Illinois.
Wow.
They do a phenomenal job on graphics. So the Davis brothers approached me about designing it, and if I want to do something different, and I told them absolutely not. Looks damn good the way it is.
Nice.
It really does. The John Deere deal, and I'm sure your son loves it because he's got to be a tractor fan, right?
Oh yeah, the whole entire family. That's my in-laws. He's got probably about 10 or 12 antique John Deere tractors at the moment, and anything from I think 1936 is the oldest one he's got. So the John Deere runs in the family pretty deep. So it's very cool to be able to kind of fly those collars, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Too bad Dylan's not here. His grandpa's got kind of the same affection with tractors, had a farm, and we got to go ride around some old ones. I don't think he had any from 1936, but that's pretty impressive. But I guess let's just get right to it, man. It's been an incredible week, for you and your team. Just what were the emotions like going into Haubstadt, just knowing how tight the points battle was, and then in the end of the day, making it on the podium and clinching it, your first Sprint Week champion.
Yeah, it's pretty special. Everybody's still pumped about it. And, going into the night, we was, I think, 8 points behind. And to me, that felt like a big number to make up because we haven't really been stellar at Haubstadt. I mean, we've been good, but not as good as Kyle Cummins, obviously. So, we just, DJ, Rooster, Brian, Mister, all the guys that work on the car, they just done their homework and came back home after Putnamville and put a new set of brakes on the car because we had brake issues up there at Putnamville. So it might have been a blessing in disguise that it got rained out and the guys was able to tune on the car a little bit more, make sure it's perfect for Sunday night at Tri-State.
When you were interviewed after the championship, you said something to the effect of they tried to take it away from us, but we took it. I assume you were alluding to the fact that there were a couple cautions thrown at the end of Terre Haute that cost you that race. So were you pissed off going into Hobstadt, and did that fuel the fire to get up on the wheel there at the end?
Yeah, a little bit. That's I mean, I understand to a degree of why the caution needed to be thrown, but some of the stuff they seem to let slide or when it's kind of seems convenient. So I guess I'll just put it that way. So I was I felt like that kind of put us behind a little bit because winning that race we would have gained I think 3 extra points, which that could make or break a deal. So we've come out on the losing end of stuff in points before by being only 2 or 3 away. So as tight as everything is during sprint week and as well as everybody runs, didn't want to come down to that for sure.
Yeah, and I was gonna ask you too. What is it about, the guys like you and Kyle Cummins that are from that part of Indiana? I mean, you're what, 7 minutes away? Kyle's 15 minutes away. What is it about Hobstadt and that, track that kind of suits you guys? And especially, what did it mean for you to both share, victories with you in the championship and he the race win, guys being from down that area?
Yeah, it's definitely pretty cool. That he grew up right down the road, and I'm actually from an hour north of here. So even prior to moving down this area, we considered this our home racetrack, and I just don't know what it is about it really. I mean, it's kind of a paper clip, and I would almost call it like a point and stab kind of back it in style racetrack. So just something about that kind of suits my driving style, and I feel like over the years we're getting better at those momentum racetracks, and but Tri-State's home to me, and I love the racetrack down here, and the Helfrich family is fantastic. I mean, they're great not only with racetrack prep and everything, but they're good people to be friends with as well.
I don't mean to hammer home the Terre Haute thing, but I gotta ask another question about Terre Haute because that was an awesome race. So when you finish that race and you get out of the car, you're obviously cool. Your interviews are always cool, and you're never you never spout out, you never say anything ridiculous that's going to get you in trouble with your sponsors or whatever. Were you more mad about Grant moving you, or were you more mad about the cautions?
I don't know. It was a toss-up at that point. We've lost multiple races at Terre Haute before just by late race cautions. Lap car or something. Just for some reason, just seems like we can't get that away from that. So, Grant and we've had our battles over the years and our little tiffs, if you will. And I don't know if this started one or not, but I was definitely pretty frustrated with it. So, but he's got a lot of pressure on himself, and he's got to do what he's got to do to win as well. So, I can't really fault him too much for that.
Is that one where you, as a racer, put it in the back of your mind and say you'll remember it going forward?
Yeah, a little bit. I'm over it right now, but
you're sitting in a rocking chair.
That's true.
That's right. But just one of those deals. There'll be a point in time where it won't be so convenient for him, but it will be for me.
You've won a lot of big races, and especially running your own stuff up until this year. I wanted to talk about that transition to being with a new team with KO Motorsports. I mean, this happened around 4th of July weekend that you came aboard. What kind of went into the decision with that? Because I know it's not easy to make that sort of transition, but at the same time, it's one that you guys have just been right out of the gate super fast, and obviously, clinching the Indiana Sprint Week Championship. So kind of describe what the decision was like and how that deal kind of came together.
Well, during last season, I actually raced for those guys during the MSCS series. So, we kind of got acclimated with each other then and ran really well together and struggled a little bit together. So, but we actually planned to run the Tri-State World of Outlaw, the doubleheader, and my own car, the 32 car. And then they put a deal together there with Hudson John Deere, and those guys were real excited about it, and they wanted to run. So, we just kind of got together and ran that race. It went real well. And Bruce Hahn, the owner of Hudson John Deere, was real happy with her performance and the team that night. So, he wanted to do a little bit more, and he's got roots deep into sprint car racing as well. So, they kind of approached me to do a deal together, and it's just been awesome from the word go. So, we've been really, really fast every single night, and the transition's been pretty easy. And we actually brought over all my sponsors, all the guys that helped me on the crew and everything. So, I still got DJ crew chiefing, and him and Kent Schmidt, they kind of, I guess, co-op on crew chiefing the race car, and so far it's been pretty magical.
Will the 32 stay in the shop the rest of the year?
Yeah, it looks that way.
Oh.
I've kind of hung on to them and, um, just in case. But we're really having a lot of fun right now, and the guys are getting along really great. And I really don't think as a team we couldn't be having any more fun right now.
Mm-hmm.
Is there anything you miss about, being a driver owner, or not really? Because I guess that's a lot more work for you. But is there something you miss about that, or is it right now just you're at a good point in your life to where you like, this new venture?
Uh, Kind of there where you hit on that. I kind of enjoying it at this point. Kind of there at first. The first couple weekends, it was a little bit difficult not being completely in control, or because I kind of before I was in charge of my own destiny, if you will, and comfortable, I guess. So actually, looking at the way things are right now, I've been a little bit uncomfortable in the race car, but Flea Rusick builds the chassis, and they're bad fast, and maybe a little bit of that uncomfort is what I needed.
Yeah. Lee builds a badass machine. He's got an awesome mind, a weird mind, but an awesome mind. How many of these rockers have you chased over the years, Chase? How many Indiana Sprint Week titles have you gone after in a row before you finally won one?
Well, we started racing with USAC full time in 2012, and I wouldn't say that we really chased the rocker there for quite a few years, until I really got my feet underneath me. But I guess 2015 would have been the first year that we had a legitimate shot at it, and I think that was the same year that Blue won the championship, and we was pretty close to him all year. But he just went on a hot streak then and won, I think, every night in Pennsylvania, and pretty much done the same thing out west, and had a great sprint week, won the title that year, and we finished second to him a lot that year. But we've been close in the past, but nothing quite like this year for sure.
In your racing career, this is the greatest feeling, right, of your racing career?
Yeah, it's pretty special. That's being born and raised in Indiana, enjoying sprint cars, loving sprint cars as much as I do. That's one of the things that it's pretty coveted prize. That again, John Young, he builds the best rocking chairs, and I've had my eye on this thing for a few years now, and just glad we could finally win it together.
Around the pit area, you're known as the Iron Man, in USAC, 310 some consecutive feature starts. You're so consistent each year. You get your number of wins. You got big wins, Oval Nationals, Western World, things like that. What about sprint car racing for you just comes naturally to where you can be so consistent?
Well, back whenever I first started racing sprint cars and stuff, I ran for my parents, and we didn't really have the money to fix race cars. So, I kind of prided myself on not tearing up equipment and everything. And that's one of, I guess, the factors in some of the consistency that I've had over the years is just not tearing up equipment and being there every single night. So, my parents kind of instilled that in me, and we've kind of just kept building on that, I guess.
So looking at the points gap, you're second in points with USAC right now, and of course, we don't want to say a rivalry is forming between you and Grant, but we can kind of toss it up as that, I guess. 77 points separate you and Grant. Are you feeling all right there? I mean, do you think you can track him down?
Yeah, I think so. But there again, we go to a lot of racetracks the rest of the year where he's really good at, but we're also good at those places too. So, we look at that point gap, and we've made up more points than that before, but we've lost more points than that before. So, things are gelling really well with the team right now. DJ Rooster, Brian, Mister, Kevin, all the guys, everybody's doing their part, and we got a good thing going. So we'll definitely put our best foot forward and see if we can keep our consistency kind of to where it was during sprint week, where we're in the top 5, top 3 every night. And I think points will just take care of themselves, but I don't think it's going to be easy. That's for sure.
Yeah, what excites you about the rest of the season? I mean, just because we're in this COVID era where the schedule's been all kinds of messed around with, and, we're kind of at a different point in the season. So, with this condensed schedule and where you're at in points, what excites you most about, looking ahead to the rest of the year?
Yeah, that's kind of one of the things that scares me at the same time, just because you're kind of unknown of whether they're going to shut stuff back down again. And it's kind of like during sprint week, kind of had that, I guess, a scare with weather there where I didn't want things to get rained out and was kind of afraid that we'd end up second in points. And, thankfully everything worked out that way. But kind of goes with this whole pandemic we've got going on right now. It kind of, I guess I'm not scared of the virus at all, but it's just the whole Other people, Democratic Party, it seems like shutting stuff down. So hopefully we don't get into that again like we did this spring.
Yeah. Have you been on in a pavement sprint car, Chase?
No, I have not. The only thing pavement I've ever even done, I practiced one of Wally Pancratz's midgets out of Irwindale a few years ago, and that's been it. So I would definitely like to get into one, that's for sure.
I was gonna say you're not gonna go over to Lucas Oil Raceway and strap in the non-points event for the sprint cars.
I don't know. You might just see one of my Dirt 32 cars show up there one day. We might throw some pavement tires on it and have fun.
Here you go. Slap on the slick, see what happens.
And then after that, of course, they get your ass to Kokomo night, which is a non-points event for USAC, and then we go Smackdown Racing at Kokomo. That's a race that you want to win here, don't you?
Absolutely. That's we've won one of the prelim nights before, and we've been close to winning it on I guess Saturday or Sunday, however it works out with the weather. The O'Connors, they always prep a really, really good racetrack, and that's a electric event. The kind of the feeling you get from the crowd. I'm sure that's kind of the same thing that the guys that race Knoxville Nationals get. It's just crazy, the amount of people there and hooping and hollering, and the way they do driver intros. They just make an event out of it, and that's definitely another one on our list now after accomplishing Sprint Week that we've got our eye on.
Well, it's been a crazy ride this year, but I was watching on Flow Racing. I know Rob Klepper did a piece back with you inside the ride, and you were talking about your two boys now. It's kind of crazy how many years now you've been through the USAC circle that, now you're a father of two, and you're kind of getting up there in terms of being one of the older guys around the circuit. So talk to us about a little bit what the plans are for the two young ones. I think I saw some dirt bikes down there. How come they're not running four wheels?
Yeah, I don't know. They're interested in dirt bikes, both of them. I still have my old quarter midget that I raced when I was a kid, and every now and again they'll get it out, make some circles around the field back here, or we take it over to Kent's house and they run on his go-kart track. But they definitely don't show the interest in quarter midgets or circle track racing quite like they do with the dirt bikes. So, but my oldest son Parker, he's been racing woods races all spring here since they started racing again, and he's really enjoying that. He's finished second in I think every race but one, and he finished third in it. So, he's got a buddy that has won every race so far, and he really enjoys chasing him, trying to beat him. So, I can see little pieces of me in him because he starts off the races a little bit slow, and then towards the end he'll pick his pace up. So it's definitely pretty cool to watch him race.
Just like Dad. How about that?
That's cool. So dirt bike racing for the Stockons. Maybe they'll get in some quarter midgets here soon. You're a ways down there from quarter midget country, though.
Yeah.
Near Hobstadt. All right, before we let you go, when I asked you to come on, and this was Monday I texted you, and you said, what'd you say? If I'm done drinking by then, I'll come on. So when did you stop drinking after you were celebrating?
I didn't drink too much, but had to celebrate a little bit. I think it was Monday morning. I had to have a Crown and Coke for breakfast. So
oh yeah,
just kind of basking in the glory. Just one of these kind of pinch me moments. Never thought it would ever happen, and I knew we were capable. I knew the guys were capable, but they had a great time, and I heard a rumor about they partied so hard that they left the car out, and there were people headed to work at Toyota Monday morning, and the race car is still sitting outside the trailer. So got a pretty good kick out of that. The guys definitely had a good time after that.
Wow. So you let the team party hard and you went back with the kid. That's a good father. You are.
Yep. My wife pretty much forced me into it. So she's a good woman.
Yeah. You know how it goes. That's how it goes. Chase, thanks so much for coming on the show.
Yeah.
Congratulations. We're happy you finally got one of those rockers, and it's going to be cool to see if you can win the Smackdown, man.
Yeah. Heck yeah. I appreciate you guys having me on and chatting, and I know if you're on Rip the Fence, you're doing something right. So hopefully we can get back on here after Smackdown.
All right, let's drink a Crown and Coke soon, all
there
right?
There you go. Cheers, buddy. Congrats on all the success.
Nice, man. Thanks.
Right on. Thanks, fellas.
Have a good one. Chase Stockon, everyone. Indiana Sprint Week champion. And I didn't even realize he had two kids by now. Parker was pretty much just born when I was with USAC.
Right?
So how old is Parker? And how old is Parker now if he's ripping the dirt bike already?
I think one's 4, 7, maybe?
7?
6 or 7? Yeah, and it's crazy.
Oh,
man.
it is 2020. I was there in 2012. Yeah.
Time flies when you're having fun.
Oh, fun would be the word. He's having fun, right?
That's right. Yeah, he's having a great time. That rocker looks comfy as hell, though, too. I want one of those.
John Young can hook you up.
I gotta win one though. I don't
know if he builds them and sells them. I don't know if he does.
If he does, I gotta figure that out because that looks nice.
You don't want to go win one. Just get a sprint car.
I know. Easier said than done.
Probably not as cheap. You might as well just buy it.
Nope.
So yeah. All right. So where are we going this week? Road America.
Mm-hmm.
You're in Road America, right?
Yeah, I am. Right.
Dillon is off this week because he is racing Midget Week. So what are the races in Midget Week? Here we go. Can you run them down for me?
Yeah. So we got action. Well, this is Wednesday. I guess we're recording this.
Wednesday.
So Action Track here tonight, Kutztown. What else we got? We've got Bridgeport on Thursday, Path Valley Friday, and then Lanco's Clyde Martin Memorial Speedway on Saturday to wrap it up. That place is cool too.
What is that? 4 races? 5?
Yeah.
4.
4.
Can't do math. Silver Crown Series is at Selinsgrove, first time in history.
That's gonna be cool.
That'd be fun to watch on Flow Racing. Flow Racing is 30 races a week right now at this point. All 7 of Larson's All-Star wins in a row. Then he bit the dust big time at Huset's.
It was a good little
Did
ride
you watch
there.
the Huset's race?
I did. That was so cool, man. I'm so happy that place is back.
For like the 4th time.
I know. Well, hopefully it'll be here to stay for
Huset's
longer.
is a good track, and a lot of people love it.
Yeah.
And it puts on good racing. It was a good show. We don't talk too much about wing cars, but we've been watching it. So,
my phone.
Was your phone that dropped?
Yeah, that's all right.
All right.
What else we got? Oh, hey, Power Eye's back. Ironman 55 with World of Outlaws.
Oh, when is that?
That's coming up Saturday and Sunday. So
there you go, Power Eye TV for that one.
Yeah.
You can watch the stars of the Power Eye series, and so that's this weekend.
Mm-hmm.
They're competing against Midget Week.
Yeah.
Oh boy, they're going to be probably some first-time winners in Power Eye. Then.
I would expect so.
Or
young guns.
Some young guns to win there.
And then, we've also got war sprints too at the Oski Ultimate Challenge.
That's right, and I believe Flow Racing has picked that up as well.
Doing everything. Best like investment I think of your life.
$150.
Yeah.
And you get to watch a lot of races. I mean, I would say like 25 cents to 50 cents a race is what you're paying.
Can't beat that.
A year? Oh my God. Well, thanks for coming in here, Chris.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
It was fun to talk to Chase and to, of course, Dillon Welch, who we hope gets victory. Maybe we should drink some beers and watch Dillon race this week.
We should. He'd want us to.
Oh, he'd want us to, yeah. The problem is when I watch him, he gets all mad because I text him and I was like, dude, you're a little tight. Or like, you missed the bottom. Like, you missed the bottom like 3 or 4 laps in a row.
That?
Well, he knows,
he's
but he
driving
doesn't.
the car.
I try to give him pointers like I know what I'm doing.
Professional coach over here. Oh, boy.
That's why he gets mad. No, I usually don't text him until I have a few drinks, and then I'm like, all
Knowing
right.
Dillon as long as I have, usually kind of, depending on how the night goes, I won't text him right away.
Yeah, if he qualifies on the pole, then runs like 2nd or 3rd in the heat, then I'll tell him like, man, you look good. You know, you're locked into the A, but you look a little tight there through the center.
A little tight.
The track's gonna, change, but like I know anything about these cars. Look at me. I've never fit in a race car in my life.
I'm surprised you haven't given it a shot. I'm really, really surprised.
Well, we had what's his face on, Robert Bell.
Colfax Comet.
He said he was gonna put me in his car at the Chili Bowl, but
Dude, yes.
I don't even know if it ran this year.
At Chili Bowl?
well,
he did. I did an interview with him in his car, and he told me his one of his many nicknames was Kidney Stone because he's hard to pass. I know.
He's like Ryan Newman.
National treasure.
Now that Ryan Newman's all right, we can talk about how hard he is to pass.
Yeah.
But, yep, should be fun. Road America this week for us. The rest of the NASCAR group is going to Michigan.
Yeah.
Then the following week, Daytona.
That's going to be nuts.
The road course.
Have you seen it on iRacing?
Mm-mm.
Oh, it's cool. I'm going to drive it when we're done here.
I don't play much iRacing. We go. Oh, well, actually, the door's not open for the simulator here. Because the old COVID
situation.
Yeah. But thanks for coming in. RipTheFence.com is where you can find all of. I try to post as many news stories as I can on there, and also our episodes. Hopefully, we have apparel soon. You see a shirt that he's wearing. We're gonna try to give those away at some point if we can.
Yeah, you got to make more. I'm scared now. I'm gonna get all these tweets and messages saying I want to buy it. No, I'm sorry.
We're trying
Money
to get
can't
the
buy this.
apparel merchandise up and running so we can make some racing money for Dillon to go
Oh,
racing.
did you ever put the Rip the Fence sticker on his car?
Yeah, I was camping. Oh, yeah, I didn't mention that. I
No.
went camping in Michigan in the Upper Peninsula.
That's right.
And tent camping for a couple days, 3 days. You know, got in Lake Michigan, got in Superior, got in... Oh, boy. What's the other one?
Made the rounds.
All the lakes. Lake Michigan, Superior. We've been in Erie. I don't think we've been in Huron. I don't know what the other one was. But yeah, we hung out, you know, up there, and I was supposed to go up to the shop, I guess, before they left and put the sticker on, but I did not do that. I was looking at his picture. I was looking at his car though, and there's not any room. There wasn't any room for that big of a logo.
Really?
Nah. And if the only room that it would have had would have been on the red side, which wouldn't have made sense because the logo is a red logo with the white words. Okay. And so it would have got drowned out by the red.
All right.
We'll do it some other time. It's actually, this one is my fault. The past 2 years, it's been his fault why a logo hasn't been on there. He just hasn't taken initiative for it, but
you guys dropping
I
the
understand.
ball.
I mean, when he gets interviewed on Flow Racing all the time,
Yeah.
he doesn't say anything about the podcast, nothing. Didn't even get asked about it. Like, okay, thanks.
Well, maybe if we bring him good luck and he gets a win here this week, he'll mention it. We'll see.
If he wins, he is not going to mention us. Are you serious? Why would he do that?
Well, he'll receive a couple of angry text messages.
We do like it when he gets like a quick time or like a,
Yeah.
you know, rips in the heat race or something, because that's when we start getting the followers, you know?
Yeah, that's true.
That's when people start tweeting about us. And I've said it all the time. His success on the racetrack is going to drive the numbers here on this podcast. So
no pressure.
Obviously, it hasn't done very well so far.
It's all right. He's not even here to defend himself.
At Rip the Fence on Twitter. You can also find us on Facebook as well. MORN.com is where most of the stuff is housed, and wherever you find your favorite podcasts. All right, Crispy, thanks for coming in here.
Yeah, thanks, bud.
You're a good pinch hitter.
Coming out of the bullpen.
Yeah, coming out of the bullpen for episode 103 of Rip the Fence. We'll see you next week.
This is Rip the Fence.
Call me Big Daddy.
Presented by O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Yeah, you damn right I got what happened out there.
Also brought to you by Hercules Tires.